When feeling anxious, do not believe anything your mind tells you. Do not seek reassurance from your close people, and do not distract yourself immediately when feeling anxious. Well, these were the very things that were helping you feel better when you were feeling anxious. But guess what? These are the very things that trigger your anxiety more and more. Hi, I'm Kashika Gulati, a counseling psychologist, and from my own experience of having suffered through anxiety for a very long time and working with my clients who are now overcoming anxiety, I know for a fact that these are the things that make anxiety worse for you. So, talking about the first thing, do not believe anything that your mind tells you, because your mind is going to come up with things like you would not find anyone as good as this person, or that you are the worst employee and you'll be told to resign any moment, or that you are unloved. No one really loves you. People are there, like, no one would even care if you are dead the next moment. Those are the very things that your mind tells you, because it's the job of mind to help us survive. So it makes us aware of all the worst case scenarios. But you know what anxiety is? Anxiety is overestimating the likelihood of something bad happening, and at the same time underestimating your ability to deal with it. I'm very sure you've been through the toughest situations in your life, and when those things happen to you, you thought that you won't survive it. But guess what? You did. You are here right now. And there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of self-doubt that you won't be able to get through this, because that's the job of your mind, to make you believe that in the moment. But your job is to cut that flow of thought, to not believe anything that your mind is telling you, and rather come to the moment, ground yourself in the moment. If you want to know what grounding is, it's being in the present moment, because anxiety is usually about something that may have happened in the past, or something you are scared about that may happen in the future. But when you start coming back to the present by coming to your breath, by maybe feeling the things around you, or walking barefoot, or just going out of your house, not isolating yourself, and being in touch with what's happening around and not live in your thoughts, that's when you are able to break free of anxiety, of all the anxious thoughts that are making you live your worst case scenarios. So the idea is to not believe anything that your mind tells you at that very moment, because it's releasing those kinds of stress hormones and thinking of all the things that can go wrong. But that's not what you need in the moment, and I'm very sure you have experienced that. But does it ever serve you? Does it ever serve believing those thoughts? And I'm sure that you know after a period of time that, oh my god, this didn't even happen. And guess what? You experienced that, you lived that, even when it did not happen. Imagine the kind of suffering you are going through by living something that's not even happening, for that matter. So the idea is to not believe anything that your mind tells you. Second, do not seek reassurance. I remember whenever I used to have really bad examination anxiety, I would call up my friend the night before the exam and ask her, do you think I'll pass this exam? And as soon as she'd say yes, I'd feel better. But did anything happen? Yes, I felt better for those 5 minutes, but I again had those thoughts in the next 5 minutes that, will I pass this exam, because I'm not prepared, I haven't done this, I haven't done that. So reassurance acts like a cigarette for a person who is addicted to cigarettes, because for that moment you'll feel better, but it will come back in more intensity after 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or maybe some hours. So when you are seeking reassurance from someone, one, you are getting dependent on reassurances till the time no one tells you that it's going to get better, or you feel that you have the control over the result. You won't feel better, and it will become an addiction. Every time anxiety hits, you'll call up someone and you'll ask, do you think this will happen for me? And as soon as someone says yes, it will serve you, you'll feel better for the moment, but it will only get worse after a while. So it's better that you stay with that anxiety in the moment and give yourself the self-talk that, I know I'm feeling anxious at the moment, and this happened in the last exam as well, but I was able to do well because I have done so and so things. So give yourself examples, evidence from the past that you can do it, even though your mind is telling you otherwise. So rather than seeking reassurance, you can call up a friend and just tell them that this is how you are feeling, and not ask them, how will it work for you? Will it work for you? Will it not work for you? Because seeking reassurance is the worst thing that you can do to yourself when you are feeling anxious. And the third thing, do not distract yourself immediately. Yes, I know that anxiety seems like an evil, something that is there to give you pain, give you suffering, and make your life hell. But anxiety also gives you an opportunity to look at your triggers. Yes, it may look very, very bad, but it may not be the worst thing, because it is helping you on your journey to healing by making you aware of all the things that aren't working for you. So rather than distracting yourself, maybe just finding something to work on, or losing yourself to your work, or maybe finding anything, any chore that you can busy yourself in, you will find that at a later stage you will be anxious about the very same thing. So all that you are doing is suppressing it, only for it to return later with a bigger intensity, with a worse intensity, which is what also happens with our feelings, right? You ignore the sadness, the anger, and one day you are just crying out of blue, or just shouting on someone because the anger has piled up inside of you. The same thing happens with anxiety. Till the time you keep making yourself busy in something or the other, you are just ignoring it. But there is one time that it will just come out of blue and you won't know what just happened. This happens with a lot of people experiencing anxiety, because I know that this is what happened with me as well. It was just one day out of sudden that I could not stop crying, and I did not know what even happened then. So I know how it works. So the idea at that point of time is to just be with yourself and accept that you are feeling anxious. When something comes up, you gotta acknowledge it. Acknowledging it is not about saying that I'm happy you are here, just saying, okay, you are here, I see you. That's it. Accept that you are feeling anxious. Name all the feelings that you are feeling in the moment. Is it that you are feeling sad or disappointed or hurt or insecure? Whatever it is, just give yourself the space to feel it and be with it for a moment, and you will see that the intensity may increase and you may feel like, oh my god, why did I even do this? It's better to distract myself by doing something else. But after a period of time, even when the intensity increases and it starts feeling intolerable, it will pass. That's the nature of everything, of your feelings, of your thoughts. If you really be with them, you'll know that something occurs and then it boils down. That's what always happens with your anxiety. So rather than distracting yourself, fighting with anxiety and making it harder for yourself, make it harder for yourself for that moment, for those 5 minutes, for that 1 hour, for it to pass, for you to feel better. Because this is the sign of courage, that you are doing something despite fear, despite anxiety. The idea is again not to feel zero anxiety before you do something. The idea is also to tolerate anxiety and keep healing it. Keep understanding your triggers. Keep understanding what it is that you need to pay attention to. So never do these 3 things that I told you about and start actually doing the opposite of it. When anxiety tells you that you need to distract yourself from it to feel better, do the opposite. Just accept it. Accept that you are feeling anxious in the moment, and trust me, things will change for you. Do seek professional help for anxiety, because it can get worse over time if left unaddressed. It could be around something that may have happened in your childhood or something that may have happened yesterday. So it's very important to address your triggers and be in your healing journey. Thank you.